if you look, first of all, if you look at his history and you read up on what we know about him, he loved flying. He loved it from a very young age, and he was obsessed with it. And if he's having these issues or whatever issues he was dealing with, if he wants to end his life, he's thinking, I want to end it probably in the way that it makes me happiest. If you're disconnected and if you've got psychological issues, you're not really thinking about the people in the back. And you know what, Dr. Drew, we would see this, or I would see this in law enforcement when you would see individuals who it was death by suicide, by cops.
Remember, suicide by cop, yeah.
Correct, where they would do these actions where they'd go out and do random killings and just shoot random people because they wanted to die.
Yeah, those people are usually in acute, agitated states. I've seen those people, and they are literally, their eyes are spinning around. You wouldn't want to be around somebody like that. They are really not, usually, it's not a quiet, premeditated sort of a thing, the way this seems to have been, where he just is having a normal day, and all of a sudden, boom, he locks out his pilot. Emily, do you think a depression, which allegedly this guy suffered from, do you think depression is an explanation of any sort here?
Not at all. I think it's murder. I think we keep calling it suicide. Yeah, he killed himself, but he murdered all these innocent people. I don't even believe that this has to do with depression. I think this is something a little bit deeper and something that's maybe not even on within the DSM in a way. I really think this is an evil guy, and it may not be a mental health thing. It may be that he just really is a sicko. I mean, that's how I can put it.
Emily, wouldn't you have expected there to be some evidence of that kind of nonsense at other times in his life? I mean, think about the kind of people we put under the evil moniker. There are people that torture animals. There are people that have no sense of other people. They don't have friends. I mean, this guy seemed to be conducting a normal life.
Exactly. He seemed to be conducting a normal life. He also didn't meet any sort of criteria before he got on the plane, right? He looked normal. No one could pick up anything. He wasn't having sort of, hallucinations, anything like that. Nothing to really drive him. We also don't have all the information. We're only hearing a little bit of information at this point.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
but
he could have had some of this.
He is right. He's in an age group where major psychiatric illness can come on. And if you're a pilot, the last thing you want anyone to know is that you've got that kind of condition, because you will lose your job. You will not be able to fly an aircraft, which is why I want to bring in Rob Waldo Waldman, retired Air Force pilot and author of Never Fly Solo. Waldo, what happens if a pilot admits that he or she is suffering from a psychiatric condition?
Well, number one, you're grounded because it could definitely impact your ability to get the job done. And number two, you meet a review board. In the military in particular, you're constantly being evaluated by your peers. You're constantly getting new training. It's under very stressful environments. When you look at this young man, 27 years old, 750 hours, that is not a lot of time. In the U.S., in the FAA, you need at least 1,500 hours for the most part, and special certifications to fly. Because there is a pilot shortage, in particular overseas, they let these young men and women fly. They're inexperienced. They don't have a lot of training, so they are at an extreme disadvantage. And that subjective analysis from the captain walking in the door saying, how you doing today? How long you've been flying? It's very, very important. These are human beings flying very, very sophisticated aircraft and responsible for other people's lives.